Hey yo, this is Yulia and welcome to my channel. Today we're talking about two countries, two cities, Portugal versus Canada, Lisbon versus Montreal. Which one is better? Which one is better for you if you're trying to decide whether to move to Portugal or to Canada? Or maybe you're just interested in learning more about Portugal, Portuguese people, everything Portugal. If so, let's get started. First and foremost, we're comparing Lisbon to Montreal. We're not comparing the whole country to the whole country because literally comparing, Porto to Vancouver, like why would you do that? So we're comparing Lisbon, the capital, to Montreal. Not the capital, but still a big city. And speaking of the size, Lisbon has 500,000 people living in here, while Montreal has around 2 million people living just on Montreal Island. We're not talking even about the Laval and South Shore. For me, it was kind of a downgrade. One of the things that people like to compare is nature and climate. Well, nature is nature everywhere. We have mountains, we have lakes in Canada, we have parks. In Portugal, it's literally the same, but we also have the ocean, which is kind of lakes, ocean. Same thing, kind of, not really, joking. As for the climate, Portugal has literally 1.5 climate because it's summer or a cold summer, which is now it is February and it's plus 15 outside. In Canada, you can witness all 4 seasons. So you have a gorgeous foliage in fall, you have lots of snow in winter, you have spring blooming kind of thing, and then you have summer. The only disadvantage of that is the temperature, obviously, because Montreal winters can be harsh and it can be up to, 20, 25 Celsius. Not a fan, but I still love winter. Portuguese winters, however, are super nice, super mild. It's literally fall in Canada. When it's plus 13, it is sunny and it's not super cold. The hottest I witnessed in Lisbon personally was around 30 Celsius when we arrived here. In Montreal, winters are minus 20 Celsius, but summers are plus 30 Celsius. If you are dependent on the weather, Montreal is not a place to be. Your favorite category here is immigration. So, Lisbon immigration, Portuguese immigration is super easy. It's literally gather the documents and go. As for Canada, Canada offers more than 80 immigration programs. The thing is, Quebec is not a part of Canada because Quebec has his own programs. That being said, if you don't know French, désolé, you're not moving to Quebec. Only if you marry a Canadian person, because Quebec asks you to speak advanced French in order to stay and live in Quebec. That's what surprised me a lot when we moved to Portugal, because they literally didn't even ask for language exams. Even though we were getting residence cards, they were like, no, obrigada. That's mind-blowing, especially after Quebec. Another interesting thing to compare would be salaries versus expenses, all things financial. Because in Montreal, salaries and expenses are kind of balanced. You have okay salaries, you have okay expenses. In Portugal, in Lisbon, the salaries are tiny. The expenses, the cost of living in Lisbon, it's ridiculous because the same apartment will cost less in Montreal to rent, if we're talking about rent, than in Lisbon. When we moved here, we were like, 800 euros, yeah, we can find an apartment. No, that was the case literally 7 years ago. Now, goodbye, nothing, nada. Taxes are high both in Portugal and Quebec. Quebec is literally, I think, the highest in Canada, so cool story, bro. But Portugal is no better. I think it's same around 40-50%. Again, please don't comment me being like, you can pay less. Yes, you can pay less. It always depends on what you do. If you work for someone, if you're self-employed, if you're a freelancer, if you're blah, 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 blah. I'm telling you the average number. One of the determining factors for moving to one or the other country is safety. Canada is pretty safe from my opinion, but it always depends on where you live. Because if you live downtown Toronto, and there are nightclubs, yeah, there might be some shootings, thieves or whatsoever. But if you live in a quiet area, it should be safe. Same in Lisbon. I'm still getting used to new country, new people. I think Portugal is safe, but it's a bit too early for me to say whether it's safe or not. But I feel like I saw an article where it said that Portugal is one of the top safest countries in the world. The next category is huge, and it's literally everything from like stores to restaurants. Both Montreal and Lisbon have a lot of things to offer, but bear in mind that Lisbon is 4 times smaller than Montreal. That being said, it has only one bowling, full size, while Montreal has, I don't even know, like 10? No, a lot. That's what I'm gonna say. There is no karaoke in Lisbon. As far as I know, my friends were like, there is no karaoke, I wanna go sing. I'm like, excuse me? Yeah, you need to bear that in mind too, because saying, oh, there is no this, blah, blah, blah. Well, Lisbon is 4 times smaller than Montreal. What are you expecting? The best part is that stores are open here in Lisbon till midnight. In Canada, depending on the store, depending on the day of the week, depending on the city, the province, because some of my last videos, people were like, oh, in my city, the store closes at 10 p.m. Yes, that might be the case. For Montreal, I think the latest is 10 p.m. on Friday and maybe Saturday. Sunday, it's 5 p.m. In Lisbon, every single day, the stores are open till midnight. You literally can go to another city, come back, and then go shopping because everything is literally open. As for my favorite part, the restaurants Miss Yulia likes to eat. There is a huge variety of restaurants both in Montreal and in Lisbon. But again, Montreal is 4 times bigger, therefore there are more restaurants to choose from. Lisbon has a lot of different places, from local Portuguese, taverns to expats, fancy places with like Russian food, Japanese food, stuff like that. Montreal is, I think, the Canadian capital of food because we have so many restaurants there. I still have a list. Next time I go visit Montreal, I'll be like, okay, I have 15 new restaurants to try out, and they're always good. 99.9% of the time. And speaking of food, I think it's kind of different because European food tastes different. It has more intense flavor, but there is less options to choose from. Because in Canada, in Montreal, if you go to a store in February, you can find dragon fruit, passion fruit, avocados, strawberries, raspberries, you name it. Here, I'm trying to find strawberries, and it's literally one store that sells them. The thing is, in Montreal, in Canada, they export a lot of stuff from warmer countries. Here, I don't know, I don't think so. So it has less options. I think it is normal because, seasonal fruit, stuff like that. In Canada, it's all like exported. But yeah, fruit and vegetables have a better taste, but there's less variety. As for the official languages in these two countries, well, we all know that in Canada, it's English and French. French in some provinces, so if you move into Ontario, you don't need French. But if you move into Montreal, Quebec, then yes, for sure you will need French. As for Lisbon, as for Portugal, the official language is obviously Portuguese. But I feel like Lisbon and Montreal are literally the same in this one because everyone speaks English everywhere. In Lisbon, there are places where people don't speak English, but I would say that there are 2, 3 that I'm aware of. Same in Montreal. Everywhere you go, people speak English. Yes, they will start the conversation in French. And if you speak French, well, yeah, you can continue your conversation in French. But I literally had 0 times when I was like, je ne parle pas français. And people are like, merde. So both cities are pretty English speaking. So if you move into any of those cities and you still haven't started your languages, well, don't worry, it's gonna be fine because people speak English everywhere you go. Another big category here is education. We all know that Canada has top universities. As for Montreal, we have McGill University, which is on 40th place in the world. We have University of Montreal, which is on 73rd place in the world, so in top world ratings. We also have Concordia, a whole bunch of different universities. In Lisbon, which is 4 times smaller, I remind you, there are less universities and they're not on top of the list because I don't think Portugal is a destination for studying. Like States, Canada, Australia, UK, Switzerland, yes, but Portugal, it's like, I don't even know if they have a lot of international students because there are less universities. They're literally on like 400th place in the top ratings. So yes, there are still universities, you can still study here. The prices are not that bad. I think it's around 3,000 to 7,000 per year for international students, which is amazing. In Canada, in Montreal, you would pay something like from 25 to 30,000 Canadian dollars and up to, I don't even know. And the last category is my favorite, which is traveling. Canada, I love you so much, but traveling sucks. First of all, everything is so far away. All the tickets are expensive. We could only travel to States, to Quebec City, to Toronto. Some people like traveling to Mexico, Cuba, Dominican Republic, but for me, I don't like warm traveling, so these were not the options. So we would drive to Boston, to New York, to Philadelphia, so States and Canada. Portugal, a plane ticket costs 20 euro to go to London, 10 euro to go to Bucharest. After paying thousands of dollars for flights, especially if we were flying, let's say, from Canada to Europe, I'm enjoying my time here in Portugal because traveling has never been easier and cheaper. I still can't process that stuff. The best part is, with Portuguese residency, me, as a Russian person, I don't need any visas. Zero! Canadian PR, however, doesn't give you anything. No exemption, no nothing. If you go to States and you have your whatever country's passport, you will need a visa. So traveling is definitely better here in Europe. So which country is better? Yulia, which one do you like? Did you regret moving from Canada? I don't have an answer yet. I love both countries. I mean, I love Canada. I'm still getting used to Portugal, so it's too early for me to say. If you are considering these two countries, let me know in the comment section which one would you choose and why. I'm very curious to know and read all of your answers, and I'll see you next week. Bye!